Good morning. Welcome to Sending Ravens. Let's see what the day's bringing. It's looking a little glary. I'll just shut that off. There. Let's see. So we've got the Queen of Swords. Now this is a different deck. It's a little lighter colored, but still the Rider. But I think they call this one the Universal Rider. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got the Queen of Swords as our first card today, and a lot of stress that's unnecessary. This card, to me, see how the swords are thoughts and words. So the Queen of Thoughts and Words. So she's more of an intellectual, not so emotional, okay? And maybe two in her head here because it's badly aspected with this card, which would be worrying about things that don't need to be worried about. This card spends a lot of time, maybe even wakes up in the middle of the night and stresses out about things. And most of the things they're stressing about either nothing can be done about them, or in fact, they aren't going to be a problem. The person just thinks they are because they're in their stress sort of dark night of the soul, right? You know, when we wake up at 3 in the morning, it's hard to think clearly, right? And we can't see our way out of something, right? They can't see their way out of something, or they can't see sort of the light on something, okay? So they stress about it, right? Which is a waste of energy, because if you can't do anything about it anyway, that's a big waste of energy, or just creating more negative vibration, right? Okay, now the past came from a community or a family situation, a situation where the person actually has a lot of other people involved. So that could be they belong to a community and they're stressed about a decision around that, or we all belong to families to some degree, and even if we're not speaking to our families, we're probably united to some group of people, maybe just our neighborhood. You know, some people less than others, but in this case, the stress seems to be created by either a family event in the past, or a family situation, or in a community event of some kind. Your community, whatever that is. Okay? Now this is interesting here, because in the middle, what's between the Queen of Swords, so that's us, and so somebody who's two in their head maybe, and all this stress is an unknown factor. So the person may be stressing, or we may be stressing, because there's something we don't know. Maybe the thing we don't know is that we have a lot of community support and love, or family support and love. Maybe a community supports and loves us, we just don't know it. Okay, now here in the outcome, so we've got the Page of Swords, so a piece of information. So maybe this sword that's not known to us, that could really help the stress levels here, becomes known to us soon here, maybe even today. Okay, so the advice, so the Moon and the 2. Now, that's interesting. So if the Moon's advice, stay in a spiritual, intuitive sort of bubble with it. So try to feel intuitively how you feel about things. Come out of your thoughts and words and stress, and feel, or come back into your heart and soul and feelings on it, and your intuition about it. Because that's the advice card now. I mean, the Moon can mean a lot of things, and it certainly doesn't always mean what I just said it meant. In fact, it can be kind of spooky and scary. But when it's aspecting in a way it is in the cards, it's actually giving us advice. So the advice would be mystical, spiritual, and elusive. Right? So maybe just get into your imagination, intuitive, flowing, creative self. Get out of this intellectual, because I think you're way off on, and we're way off on, our perception of what's going on in a situation. Okay, keep finding your way through it, talking your way through it, or finding out information, okay, and listen intuitively to what's being presented. It feels like there's going to be a breakthrough here. That's a breakthrough card. Okay, let's overview it. Yeah. Wow, those are beautiful overviewing, okay, because these two stand alone and they overview. And together they aspect each other, so it's not actually being aspected by this card. They aspect each other because I pulled them together as separate, and they're trying to overview the whole reading. That's what I like to do sometimes. So if we could sum it up in 2 cards, how do we sum it up? So something, a situation is ending, a plateau, 10s are always ending. There's the ending of a situation, and I feel like the situation is in a lot better shape than you're originally thinking it was and stressing about that it was. Okay, I think your dynamic with this group is in a lot better shape than you thought it was. And we've got the Fool. So trust and 1 foot at a time, walking into, your future with a little more trust and being in touch with your intuition, and a little less intellectual thought and stress and worry and beat yourself up kind of thing that we tend to do. Trust the bigger picture here and enjoy the plateau you're on is kind of what I get. Try to find what's good about what's going on in your connectedness and not what isn't happening there, if that makes any sense. Now, just for fun, I want to pull one more. Okay, so we've got the King of Wands. So the King of Wands. So this might have something to do with popularity and or who you are out in this group of people. So are you the clown of the family? Are you, I know I am, or maybe I just think I am, right? Are you the black sheep? Are you in this community, are you the entertainer? Are you, because the King of Wands is very entertaining, has charisma, and is very well liked and has a great sense of humor. So maybe just assume how in your heart you want to be in a situation and work on becoming that and assuming that you are that already. It's like, think about how you want to be and tell yourself how that's possible instead of what you aren't and beating yourself up about what you aren't. You know what I mean? Like, we got to switch things around. Our mind creates our destiny. And as we think and believe, we project that into our future, and it reflects back to us as our life. So, that's a bit of a mouthful early in the morning. I think I need more coffee after that. Have a great day. Send in your ravens on that situation, and do like and share the videos if you're enjoying them, and subscribe if you haven't already.